Have you ever been playing the finals and thought to yourself, can I get a revive please? Well, I know I have. Hi, I'm Funny Man, and today I'm here to talk to you about the Defib. With the release of the 10 worst gadgets of the final Season 8 last week, there has been a great discussion sparked amongst the comments and amongst my peers who play the game, such as, why am I so bad? Why do I rage bait? And most importantly, why am I such an idiot when it comes to the Defib? Well, I don't have answers to the first two, but I will tell you why I hate the fucking Defib. A lot of people still think of the Defib as it was during Season 1. During Season 1, if you didn't bring the Defib as a medium, you really were throwing, because the Defib instantly brought your teammate back with full health, full gadgets, and they were just back in the fight. Much like how the Defib works in Battlefield, the Defib in the finals used to be an instant get your ass up button. And listen, that's great, that's wonderful. The problem is that it was so unbalanced that it made triple medium the most toxic, annoying team comp to fight against. So rightfully so, Embark went and banished that fucking thing into the pit of despair and gave it a nerf in the form of Revive Sickness. Now, Revive Sickness is a mechanic that's exclusive to the Defibrillator, so honestly, I don't even want to call it Revive Sickness, I just want to call it a defibbed revive. But when you revive someone with the Defibrillator, their statue just animates itself back up from the ground over a course of a couple seconds, and then they come back with half health and no gadgets or specializations for a couple of seconds. The major problem with coming back with half health and no gadgets is that in most scenarios, the person that you just revived is probably just gonna die again immediately. Half health on a light is 75 HP. The mosquitoes will die if you cough on them after a defib. The medium doesn't fare much better either. It's 125 for them, which is less than a base light. A couple of bullets, a cough, a used napkin, a fucking political email asking you for a donation, and they're dead too. The only class that has a semblance of chance to survive a defib when you bring them right back into the fight is the heavy class. Because they'll come back with 175, it's still not great, but it's at least better than a light. But I would honestly argue that even the heavies are really bad off because heavies rely on their gadgets for survivability. Whether it's the barricades, the RPG, the C4, the dome shield, the goo gun, the winch claw, every piece of equipment on the heavy class is geared towards changing the arena and helping the heavy survive. If you take away their gadgets and their ability to do anything and they're just left being their big mountain man selves for a couple seconds with only their guns, chances are if there's more than one person, they're gonna die. Even chances if it's just a 1v1, they're gonna die. They don't have the movement to get out of the way of the bullets. And here comes the crux of the problem with the defib, is that most people still treat the defib like it's this demon of a thing that it was back in Season 1, where you down nearly a whole team and then one medium defibs one medium, and then that medium defibs the other medium, and then the team's back to full health as if nothing ever happened. And while yes, you can still have really annoying scenarios where you have mediums chaining defibs and heal beaming with each other, it's not nearly as big of an issue as it used to be because, once again, when you defib someone, they don't have their gadgets for a couple seconds. If you defib a medium with a defib and a heal beam, congratulations, they can't help you. They're busy trying to recover from that abrupt awakening you just gave them. God, the defib is like the equivalent of getting cold water splashed on your face when you're in prison. In addition to not bringing your teammates back to full health and leaving them without their equipment for a couple of seconds, the defib does not have the speed advantage that many people think it does. When you take a look at these first two clips side by side, you would think that the defib is much faster than a manual res, taking an entire second less to get your teammate up. But that doesn't include the 1 second charge of time you have on the defib before you can hit your teammate with it. If you take that into account, both revives take the same amount of time. And no one seems to remember that. Everyone's always just like, well, now let me hit you with the defib and keep on running. I'm trying to be Sonic the Hedgehog for Christmas, gotta get my practice in now. And seriously, that kind of attitude only serves to hurt your team, because most of the time, you are way better off just manually rezzing someone than you are defibbing them. Let me give you a couple examples. So in this example right here, I am already manually rezzing a teammate, and then someone comes up and hits them with the defib. That is what I call the greedy goblin, and if any of you do that, fuck stop it. No, because rather than fully commit to the revive, which by the way, it especially hurts when someone's nearly up and then you come in and hit them with the defib, it takes twice as long. Rather than it only taking 5 seconds to get my teammate up and bring them back with full health, full gadgets, ready to get back in the fight. No. Now it takes however long I was already rezzing them for, plus the 5 seconds you just added on top of it for them to come back with half health and gadgets. Like when you lay it out like that, you cannot defend that. In addition to interrupting a regular revive in order to bring someone back really weak just so that you can soak up support score like a toxic sponge, you also have people that like to defib you and then run away and leave you out to dry. In this clip right here, that's the exact thing that happened to me. I got rezzed with the defib and then I was stuck to fight 2 people on my own, and sure, I might have taken one of them down, but the other one got me and then I just died again. Thank you for the additional death on my death counter. Like, that shit is seriously giving the energy of someone who trips another survivor in the zombie apocalypse to go ahead and run ahead of them. If you are rooting for that person, great, fantastic. Let me go ahead and give you a big round of applause for your annual entry into the world's biggest bag competition. I'll talk about this a little bit more a little later, but if you do that in World Tour and Ranked, you're actively hurting your team by just feeding the enemies more money, but we'll get to that more later. There are also times when you really don't need to defib and people just do it anyway for no reason, probably to go ahead and justify them bringing a gadget as useless as the defib. In this clip right here, it's final round and everybody is dead. Okay, we have no problems. We are just taking the box and we're gonna set ourselves up, and this Tango still comes over and hits a defib when I'm already manually rezzing. Like, what are you doing? You are just being greedy at that point. Like, seriously, why the f are you burning utility when you don't need to burn it? Has TikTok f***ed your brain so badly that you can't focus on anything for a few seconds? Did your dad actually a hummingbird and you physically cannot sit still? If either of these things sound like you, what the f are you watching this video for? Go see a doctor. Look, if you really care about your support score that much that you want to go ahead and steal revives off of people, stop it and just run the fucking heal beam. Now, I know I just spent a lot of time rattling off ways in which you should not use the defibrillator, but let me actually tell you some scenarios in which you should use the defibrillator. Keep in mind, this hinges on you running the heal beam too, so that you can bring your Tango back to full health after you defib them. If you're not running the heal beam, just pick something other than the defibrillator, seriously. You're already not serious about playing support if you're not bringing the heal beam, so just stop acting like it. You would actually bring so much more value to your team if you just committed to fragging out rather than trying to play this half-ass support play style by picking people up and then leaving them out to dry. But no, so a good example of when to use the defib is it's just you and an enemy, there's a fight going on that's relatively close by, and you go ahead and use the defib to pick your teammate up, and then you immediately hit them with the heal beam so that they can hop back into the fight. Keeping in mind that this hinges really heavily on that teammate you just picked up being a heavy. Because like I said before, if you defib a light, they're SOL with no health and no movement and no gadgets. They're fucked. A medium is a little less fucked, but it's still not a good look. A heavy, on the other hand, if you at least give them the heals, they can still tank for you for a little bit. I mean, sure, they might die again immediately, but that tankiness, you know, the big thing they signed up for by playing heavy, might actually give you the chance to go ahead and do some damage in the fight that could turn it around for your team. Okay, but I'm also going to point out that even in this scenario, you can still a lot of times just get a regular res off and then jump back in the fight without needing to then stand there for a couple of seconds and use the heal beam. The other scenario in which I think it's fine to use the defib in is if you are just trying to throw a Hail Mary. Like, you're trying to secure the last box, there's only a couple seconds left, it's just you left alive. If you want to go ahead and defib one of your other teammates at that point just to give the enemies something else to shoot at, or maybe give you another body to do some damage, that's cool. And sometimes it does pan out, like it did here in this clip. I defibbed my heavy, he stole the box, and he died immediately after he stole the box, so again, right back to the point of your teammates just gonna die again. But we did get the box and we kept the game going. Those two scenarios are really the only time that you should be using the defib in any of the cash out game modes, especially World Tour or Ranked. If you use the defib during those two game modes, your teammate dying hurts you because the enemy team is going to get more money off of killing your teammate again. I know it's just $500, but those $500 payouts add up. a lot. You're only supposed to get $1,500 off of wiping a whole team, but if you go ahead and someone got defibbed, and then you kill that defibbed person again, and then another person got defibbed, and then you kill them again, that really quickly adds up. If you're in a close world tour or ranked game, that could be the difference between you going to the next round and you losing 700 RS because you just couldn't help yourself. Outside the cash out game modes, Power Shift is the one exception where it is okay to just use the defib whenever, because let's face it, it's a casual game mode. Nobody's getting sweaty in Power Shift. Okay, no, I take that back. Everybody gets sweaty in Power Shift, but there's no stakes in Power Shift. You know, that's what I'm saying. So in Power Shift, go ahead and defib your teammates as much as you want, especially if they're already sitting on the platform. It'll stall the enemy team from pushing it back the other way. It'll give you another body for people to shoot at. And in a 5v5 game mode, the defib is a bit more acceptable. Unless that 5v5 game mode is team deathmatch. Seriously, I have no fucking clue why Embark hasn't just removed the defib from team deathmatch, but if you play team deathmatch and you bring the defib, you're an asshole. A defib does not stop the enemy team from getting money off of your friend. It just gives them a really easy follow-up kill to add more money to their total, which, by the way, in team deathmatch is only 3 grand to win the round, so an extra $100 adds up. Revives need to just be completely turned off in team deathmatch, and I have no idea why they're still on in there, and it's just especially horrible when you get defibbed in that game mode. Most of the time, I avoid team deathmatch like the plague because of people that run around defibbing in it. It just ruins it. It actually fucking ruins it. Aside from team deathmatch, if you use the defib in any of those scenarios that I mentioned before, whether that's stealing a revive from your teammate that's already reviving your friend, defibbing someone and then running away like a bag, or just wasting a defib when there's no danger because you feel like you have to justify the gadget slot you wasted on bringing it, just don't. Seriously, just don't. So, okay, I've been standing here, been talking my shit. How would I actually fix the defib? Is there a way to fix the defib? I have 2 ideas on how to fix the defib, but you're not gonna like either of them. The first idea I have is just go the nuclear route, take it out of the fucking game. Honestly, I would have no problem if the defib never touched the light of day in the finals again, and I mean that with my whole fucking chest. But unfortunately, the medium class being the support class, the defib is essential to their identity, so I really doubt that that would ever happen. The other way I think that the defib could be fixed is if it gets a major rework. Because let's face it, you cannot revert the defib to being the instant get the fuck up button that it was in season 1. It's super unbalanced and it's not healthy for the player base. I think the defib should be worked into potentially an alternate fire of the heal beam. Let's say like you charge up the heal beam to halfway and then you can hit someone with the defib on it, and then it acts pretty much the exact same as it does right now. Have the defib take half the charge of the heal beam, and then you still have the other half of the heal beam charge that you could use to heal them once they get up. And then you still have your other gadget slots available. I think that that would be worthwhile. Of course, you would have to kind of rebalance the healing beam a little bit to make it maybe recharge a little slower when you do defib someone with it, or maybe just add a separate defibrillator charge to the heal beam to make sure that you can't abuse it. But either way, it's pretty clear that in its current state, the defibrillator is really just an asbestos-lined cigarette in the finals. It hurts your team more than it helps it most of the time, and it really just serves as an annoyance for most people. And I know that's a really unpopular opinion with a lot of people, but it is my hill, and I will 100% die on it. But anywho, that is going to wrap it up for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already for more finals content. Say what's up down in those comments and let me know. What do you think about the defib? Do you hate it just as much as I do? If so, be sure to let me know down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next episode. Bye-bye.